what's kind of the future of inscriptions and ordinals, and you think miners are going to get transaction fees of some reasonable, significant amount? What does that look like? Was this like flash in the pan, or you think this is a growing and interesting part of the Bitcoin ecosystem?
There's no future for inscriptions and ordinals.
Oh, I love this question, though. You have these Eiffel... No, this is actually a really great question. You have these Eiffel Towers that happen. If you look at hash price, right? The fee spike that occurred, that was a much needed breath of fresh air for miners, and they're all sort of like really pining for that to be a thing. How do we transition from the block subsidy and spike transaction fees? I love that question.
I mean, the transactions will be more expensive, definitely, as Bitcoin price will grow, but it's not because of ordinals and inscriptions. Because like Bitcoiners are too smart to buy into NFT stuff, like stupid cats and monkeys on a chain. So, sorry. I mean, no offense to shitcoiners. But definitely, I mean, I don't see there's a future for ordinals. Inscriptions already that at the moment. Like literally, it was just hyping around.
I guess like as a substitute for trademarks and everything else, right? Like it's not about putting something specific, but you have a network with the best possible security and imprint.
Yeah, it's still like...
Does the utility of that mean anything to...
I think
within a block?
The copyright lawyers will disagree with you probably on that, on the trademark stuff. So they don't care about blockchain too much at this point. So I think...
Well, does open timestamps have value, right?
Yeah.
Like a notary service.
Yeah.
Like,
the
documentation of a thing at a specific moment in time, in the immutable ledger, there is value embedded therein.
Right, but that takes almost no space though, because they put a tree of potentially lots of document checksums, right? So it takes almost no space. But that's useful for like proof of a timestamp or something.
Yeah, but text message or an email does the same thing.
Sort of. I don't know. It'd be nice to see a court case, right? That wants to verify that this was, almost the documentation, like a notary service. That open timestamps is really interesting. I actually totally agree. Inscriptions and ordinals, not for the JPEGs and things like that. It's like graffiti in the Roman Forum. It stays there. I agree with Junseth, with this analogy. Like there is something important embedded therein in somebody taking time to chisel, even if it's dick memes in the Roman Forum, but it stays there for millennia. Next question.